Hello, my name is Adrian Stimson, and I'm the Visual Arts Curator for UnSettled, an exhibition that highlights the diversity of works of two-spirited artists from across Canada, and it's part of this year's Queer Arts Festival. It will showcase many different aspects of two-spirited works, from photography to video to installation to sculpture and to performance.
Menstrual accessory is not itchy. It's different every time. You never know.
Working with Adrian has been wonderful, and I really love the choices that they have selected. And Adrian's very pleased and has told me that he believes that this is the first ever curated visual art exhibition in Canada of two-spirit and indigiqueer artists.
Hello, my name is John Powell. I'm an artist at the UnSettled exhibition. I'm also a traditional genealogist. The work that is in the show is one self-portrait and 9 other portraits of my grandparents, great-grandparents, and their brothers and sisters. The one that you see here is actually the youngest of the 3 sisters. She was born in 1864. And her name is Tlatlakwoot. Tlatlakwoot means to stand together.
So my name is George Littlechild, and I'm Plains Cree, and my First Nations name is Nanikawasis. I wanted to share an image about our sexuality as it is not a shameful experience, rather it's an experience that is as humanity. I think Christianity has done such a number on us that there's so much shame that gets placed on us as human beings, but especially as LGBT community and as a two-spirited person. So I wanted to just bear it all and create this wonderful piece of art.
My name is Raven John. I'm a two-spirit artist from the Coast Salish and Stolen Nation territories, and this is my piece, Two-Spirit Transformation Blessing. I'm very excited to create a space for more two-spirit artists and two-spirit identities to come forward, and also to welcome other cultures in expressing their gender and sexual identities in other ways than simply a sexual or social form.
Generally, I choose the curator for the visual arts component, and this year I wanted to extend that to all of the disciplines. Chandra Melting Tallow's piece that they created for the Media Art Night, which was curated by VIMAF, Vancouver Indigenous Media Arts Festival. It was a reenactment of trauma. And I think artists often, they're manifesting what is going on in the world or in their lives, and that was what that piece was.
It unfolded in a way that I wasn't anticipating, but I think that's usually how I work. I think this is my way of turning to my ancestors to be strong, to face those things and turn it into something transformative.
You can knock me down, put me in my place, I will stay on the ground. Ground is a good place. Knock me down, put me in my place, I will stay on the ground. Ground is a good place. I'm a spring mechanism tightly coiled.
Kinnie Starr wanted to do the youth portion of the program and is teaching youth about how you can tell your stories. It's, that's the very powerful thing about hip hop is being able to tell your stories in an artistic way.
Still wish for a chorus for this. Prepare for chaos if you're planning to diss.
I am an innovative, creative, motherfucking native. You spend time on me to feel inspired and hella elated. Uninstall society's program and keeping us sedated. The time is now for diversity to be celebrated.
There's you, and there's him. my other lover.
It's really great for young artists to be able to do something like that and have that kind of influence in their lives. I wish I had something like that when I was growing up. Someplace where you could be an artist and be yourself and be queer and not be afraid to tell your stories. One of the performances is MSM, Men Seeking Men. It's a dance deconstruction around Indrits looking back on themselves as a 16-year-old, their profiles on Grindr. And so it's really dark and sexy and funny and poignant. Greed Resolve is Indigenous critique on gentrification with whips. So what's not to like?
I wrote it because I feel like classical music and indigenous music does mix, and it's also who I am as a half Cree, half Mennonite, classically trained queermo, you know? It was a way I could bring in all of my perception of the world together.
The specific thing with the orchestral powwow was that the orchestra had to follow the beat of the powwow drum, which is very different from the European model. Indigenous scholars are researching nations throughout Turtle Island and have found that at least 2/3 of the languages had 3 to 6 genders. I just find that fascinating as we're talking about moving forward in truth and reconciliation and in queer identities and queer rights. One of the things I think we should be doing is looking backward, looking back to those indigenous beginnings where before European contact, before colonialism, it was okay to be different, queer, and actually upheld as an important role in society.
It opens up a space for discussion within the LGBTQ community to take a look at the entirety of our community and give voice to a marginalized group within a marginalized group.
It's about love, making art, whether that's love of another person or love of the planet or love of whatever. That's where that comes from. The impulse to make art has something to do with sexuality. And so to squash that, which is still happening all the time, to say that doesn't matter, but it only doesn't matter if you're queer, does a great disservice to the art world, and it does a great disservice to queer youth who are still getting that message.
Thank you so much. And we need to do a huge round. I need to do a huge round of thank yous while we're here. We want to thank the Queer Arts Festival for bringing all of us folks together. It's a large feat.